Hello there and welcome to Bathcasts, a podcast created by the Young Curators of Moseley Road Baths and funded by the National Lottery Heritage Fund. I'm Tyriq Baker, your host and lover of baths. Bathcasts is a unique podcast where I am interviewing people whilst they're in a slipper bath. Each guest is linked to Moseley Road Baths in a different way. So grab a rubber ducky and a bar of soap and you too can relax and listen whilst you're in the bath. This isn't just a podcast, it also contains a poem, a song and a guided meditation. You might as well call this a sandwich, because boy oh boy is it jam-packed. Anyway, here is your guided meditation.
Hi, I'm Ajay's son, and in today's guided meditation, you can close your eyes gently, or if it feels more accessible to you, you can keep the eyes open and lower the gaze. So in this guided meditation, I'll give you some invitations that you can repeat after me, or if you'd prefer, you can just enjoy the rising and the falling of the breath. Breathing in, I see myself as the rain. Breathing out, I see myself as the flower. In, rain. Out, flower. You can continue to practice in this way, or you can continue to notice the rising and the falling of the breath, witnessing where maybe there is some tension in the body, witnessing maybe what arises. Breathing in, I see myself as the rain. Breathing out, I see myself as a flower.
That was a wonderful meditation, wasn't it? Now on to our third interview, which is with Sadim, a marketing and communications whiz at Moseley Road Baths. Sadim candidly discusses the confidence that she found in herself and her abilities when working at Moseley Road Baths, from volunteer to her current role now. This is an honest, insightful and heartwarming chat, which I hope you will love. Hello everyone and welcome to Bathcast. This is the podcast where someone's in the bath at the Moseley Road Baths and I'm interviewing them whilst they're in the bath. Today's guest is the lovely Sadim. Hello there, how are you doing?
Oh, very well, thank you.
Are you enjoying the bath? Is it warm enough?
It's lovely and warm.
No bubbles though, which is such a shame.
No, I was expecting there to be bubbles.
Yes. You've already had a bath here before and you were the first person to have a bath in 19 years at the Moseley Road Baths.
That's right, yes.
About that, there were bubbles for that one.
There was, I bought my own bubbles. I wanted to know what it would be like to have a bath and experience it in that way, but it was also really important for me to be the first one.
Yeah.
I've been working here for 4.5 years and I've always wanted one of these baths to be refurbished, so the idea of being the first one to use it in 19 years was really exciting, so I achieved that.
How long did you stay in that bath, the first bath you had here?
It was quite strange because not all of the team knew I was in here, so I was terribly worried that someone was going to walk in. I actually stayed in for 5 minutes.
Oh, okay,
which is
not long.
No, it's long for me. I'm not really a bath person, but when I do, I tend to stay in for quite some time. But it was more, I didn't know what to do with myself. I felt a little bit exposed.
Yeah.
And so actually from that, I wrote a list of things that would make the experience better. So it was a great learning experiment.
These are called slipper baths. So I've heard it's because there used to be a bit of wood that would lay over the bath, which would conceal the person in the bath's body apart from their shoulders and head, being a bit like a slipper. But also, someone else said it's because of the general shape of the bath.
So I believe it to be the general shape of the bath.
Okay,
it makes more sense. I am definitely slipping in it.
Yeah.
So I think that is the reason.
I love the idea about the wooden thing concealer. I mean, it wouldn't be ideal for your day-to-day baths, but it's quite unique, isn't it?
Well, I think really that's for keeping the heat in, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
In those times and all, just making sure the bath was hot enough for long enough, because I think with the cast iron, it gets very cold very quickly.
Yeah, okay.
My bath at home, I always have to top up with water, actually. I've always got a trickle of hot water in the bath at home, but that's not cast iron.
When you have baths at home, so you have them for a long time, what do you do? Do you have
So I always put on a podcast. I tend to have a really long bath on a Saturday morning.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I go for a run and then I come back and I put on the whole podcast. And I suppose I just have a really thorough clean. Really go to town on absolutely everything, and I really enjoy it. And again, it's part of my Saturday ritual, I think. I love my bathroom.
Yeah, it's such a nice tranquil space, actually, isn't it? And so many people do different things in the bath. I was asking Adam that I was interviewing whether he's ever ate in the bath. Have you ever?
No, I couldn't do that in a bath.
No.
I have done quite a few things in a bath, actually. I modelled for a friend who did a long time lapse at university in the bath that she wanted to film the sun setting behind me, and so we probably started a little bit too early. I was freezing by the end of it, and that was filmed I think over an hour and a half, and that's quite a long time to be in a bath, and she had to keep topping me up with warm water. But when I was at university, I took quite a lot of photos of myself in the bath and experimented with paint on skin and wanted to see what that looked like. I suppose it was the days before Photoshop, so whatever you took, and digital cameras actually, so it was quite interesting seeing what those looked like.
Yeah, so what, you put paint on your body or you put it in the bath? Right, I see.
On my thighs and then filmed what that would look like.
So what brought you to Moseley Road Baths, and when did it bring you? You said 4.5 years ago.
So I was a teacher on and off for 12 years, and I moved back to Birmingham from York. I was living in York for 4 years for a teaching job, and it just so happened that as I got that teaching job, I was pregnant with my second child, and I just could not cope with having 2 children and a full-time, full-on job, and I had to leave teaching. But I went from being an incredibly confident person and absolutely loving my job and teaching, I really did think I'd found the profession for me, to just having absolutely no confidence in myself. And I left teaching with a skipping out of the school. I was so relieved, but my anxiety levels were huge. And I knew I'd made the right choice, but I really didn't anticipate how difficult it would be to find a job, especially fitting my family life. I searched for 1.5 years trying to find anything, and when I saw this position at Moseley Road Baths, I had to consider whether I could do it in the first place. It was for 7 a.m. in the morning till 9 a.m, which is usually our school drop-off. My husband worked full-time, but we talked about it and he encouraged me to go for it, and I got it. I was so happy, and I really valued it. I enjoyed coming in the mornings, I enjoyed getting up really early. I only live in Moseley, so at the time I was running here.
So that's great.
And I just loved it. I loved being in reception, and I loved organising things, and it was an opportunity for me to use the teaching skills I'd learned in a new setting. And I just threw myself at absolutely everything. The first thing that came up was just to do some very simple comms for Specular Reflecular. Again, volunteering, and
What is Specular Reflecular?
Specular Reflecular was a exhibition, a beautiful exhibition created by Juno Projects.
Ah, right.
It was to launch the reopening of the Gala Pool. The Gala Pool roof was in a state of real disrepair, and Historic England, along with Birmingham City Council, paid for the roof to be rebuilt, and the launch of that was with an exhibition. The exhibition was stills of people swimming in the pool, and those stills were transferred onto acetate, and local people, residents, children, volunteers painted over those stills and it was made into an animation. Juno Projects also provided the film for that and some of the installation pieces, which were some curvy chairs, and it was excellent. So I did the comms for that, and then what resulted from that was that the National Trust, who were partly paying for the exhibition, they are one of our coalition partners, and Moseley Road Baths offered me some freelance work.
Oh, great, yeah.
And it was the first time that anything had been offered to me in my life, and it was just that little boost of confidence. So my confidence here was growing and growing and growing, and Moseley Road Baths have always been very supportive of that. They've helped me to shape out a career at my own pace, and I am really appreciative of that. And then I'm currently the marketing and comms lead, so I'm very happy where I am, but I'm also very grateful. I don't take it for granted one second to get a job. It is incredibly difficult to get a job.
That was a honk honk, because we're going to take a quick pause and listen to a poem by Zakariye Abdillahi.
Rush the doors, burst the walls, fill the halls, and roam freely. Feel comfortable in burkinis, see your children screaming, see me, see your parents' faces gleaming, break the barriers made to be broken. Make your memories, make sure you hold them, make moments in Moseley Road Baths. Make a change next time you walk past, take an extra second, ponder. This place is filled with wonder. Wander round, see the space, take a dive, water safe. I implore you to engage. Tell your fam, tell your mates, tell yourself. Smile in the mirror. Chuckle in the changing room. Today you're a swimmer. Wash your worries in the water. Release toxins and relax. Escape in the deep end of Moseley Road Baths.
Now we're returning to the interview. So I've been told that you have a split activity between the dry side and wet side, so you manage both of those. Can you tell me what that means and what different activities come underneath those things?
So wet side is swimming, everything to do with the pool, including talking about volunteers, volunteer lifeguards, and pool news, and anything related to swimming and well-being in water, water activity. And then the dry side are activities that take part, not in water, but for me, and I feel really strongly about this, is that they need to be woven together. And I think that will be the ultimate success of Moseley Road Baths. It should be that this is a destination where you come for a swim in the morning, you can then have a cup of tea, and then you can take part in an activity in the afternoon. And then there's an element of wellness that you might want to take part in the evening, maybe a viewing of a film or a special event or a special talk. And so therefore you would choose to come here all day rather than just use one of the amenities and then leave. And it's changing. I looked at a lot of new builds actually. I was in London this weekend, and a lot of new builds now are complexes centred around community and shared spaces, often with gyms or pools, cafes and bars within complexes. Now there's sometimes that can segregate people, make them live in areas where they don't integrate, but actually we need to redefine how we view big buildings and why people would want to use us. What's important is that it's accessible for them to be able to choose to be here.
There's so much that's going on, and Moseley Road Baths really thinks outside the box because, for example, Flatpack, which is a film festival based in Birmingham, have run out a few events here where they've actually screened films and then people are able to watch them whilst in the big pool or, in floating devices. It's brilliant. So whilst you've been working here, what has been like the standout events or experiences that you've had to market it or be a part of?
Well, that's an incredibly good question, and I might get the name of this one wrong, but actually it was the Itch programming as part of this. Brought in a crowd that I recognised but had never seen in this space, and it was really excellent to see them in the building. That's really exciting. But if I'm totally honest, the people that I think I'd like to see more of in here, the people that walk past every single day and have lived here all their lives and do not want to cross the threshold because they feel an anxiety or there's a barrier there. We have to understand what those barriers are, and I think that's what we're exploring with the Diving In project. Why don't people come into the building?
Right, and what is the Diving In project?
So the Diving In project is a National Lottery Heritage Fund funded project. It's part of the whole project, the whole big vision of Moseley Road Baths. Some of that involves capital work, but the rest of it is exploring what this building could be, and actually exploring it and making mistakes or asking questions and not necessarily getting the answers we want back, but being reactive. It's about audience. It's about engagement for audiences, and that's what Diving In, I think, has been able to achieve with the 4 projects that have launched this year and actually are now in full swing. It's making links. If I give you an example, we worked with Clifton Road Primary School. They had an initiative called Parent Champions, and through that we identified with the school that parents found wearing a swimming costume a barrier for getting into the water.
Yes.
Now, although that was a marketing exercise, it actually highlighted that that was a barrier and we could do something about that. Clifton Road provided all of their female parents that wanted to come for a swim with bikinis. That's an excellent, that's hair on your arms experience where you know that through investigating something, a solution was found.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the most exciting thing about my job. It's actually making things happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the marketing part, it's the finding out why. It's the investigative part of it, which is really exciting, and then problem solving it.
Yeah, and like you said with the solution, that sounds like an amazing project. I really, the more I hear about Moseley Road Baths, it's just the most wonderful place. And also, just to check in, is the bath okay?
Bath's fine.
Really, because I thought I heard some leaking then. I thought, is it
well,
leaking?
so we couldn't find the exact plug size, so we experimented with quite a few. I had to go to B&Q and
did you
look at
see?
bath plugs, and just bought a selection pack, and so this one works the best.
Yeah, it does. And well, it was a nightmare to get out the other day. We had to get a screwdriver. 4 of us tried, and each of us were, I think, thought we were the person that would be able to do it. None of us were able to.
There's definitely a knack to it.
Yeah. But I'll slip in a bit of history here. There used to be plunge pools. It was the cheapest option for people to just generally wash rather than paying for a slipper bath.
Yeah.
But that water was only changed, I think, once every 2 weeks, and no soap provided. So I'm glad that this is fresh water. If you're wondering, those listening, don't you worry. Sadim is in some lovely fresh water. And in terms of, you were saying about confidence, what was it about Moseley Road Baths that helped you build that confidence? Was it the speaking and seeing that reaction from people, enjoying every day?
What it was that I didn't think I was very good at anything, and that I'd gone from being told I was a good teacher to being told that I was really failing, and that everything I was doing, my skills, my knowledge, my application of things were really pulled apart. Coming here and being able to apply them and for them to be successful, it just gave me a little cheer inside. And that can't be underestimated. You've really got to believe in yourself and have confidence, but it's so hard to believe in yourself. So that's what Moseley Road Baths has given me, that gentle, at my own pace, exploring that I'm not terrible. And I do have some skills, and they were really appreciated here. So it's very much hand in hand. That's what Moseley Road Baths has given me.
Like you said, you have, shown and given so much to Moseley Road Baths. Yeah. So I'm glad Moseley Road Baths had given that to you. I'll leave on our final question of, if you could put on any sort of event yourself here, what event would you love to see coming to Moseley Road Baths that you'd love to market? Or put on yourself, let's say that the world is your oyster with this question.
So I'm really big on using venues for music. I absolutely love music, so I would use it as a venue for music, because I think what we're missing is an evening programming, and that's what I would use it for. I'd absolutely love to put on a band, not a festival, definitely a band, a venue for music, or showcasing new music and spoken word and performances here, in the evening. That would be incredible.
But anyway, it's been so lovely to talk to you, Sadim.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
And have you enjoyed the bath? Would you say it's been good?
It has been very enjoyable.
Yes.
Water is always enjoyable.
It really is, isn't it? And will you be jumping at the opportunity to have another podcast in the bath? What do you think?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I'm glad to hear. You never know.
You never
could end up on another bath podcast again.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your bath.
Thank you.
Such a candid and wonderful chat about confidence. Thanks so much, Sadim. Now to listen to a bit of music by Tyriq Baker. To finish this episode, we'll be heading back to Ajay's son for a guided meditation.
For this guided meditation, I will invite you to close the eyes if this feels comfortable, or if it feels more accessible, you can keep the eyes open and lower the gaze. In this moment, I would like you to think of someone or some cause that you would like to dedicate this practice to. Breathing in, I see myself as a river. Breathing out, I feel connection. In, river. Out, connection. You can continue in this way, or you can simply notice the rising and the falling of the breath in the body. Sending out this practice like a river. Sending out compassion, sending out love. Breathing in, I see myself as a river. Breathing out, I feel connection.
Thank you for listening to episode 3 of Bathcast. Tune in next time for my interview with poet and performer Ayan Aiden. A bubbly bath bye-bye to you. You.